Now it's connecting to the streaming software. We shall see in just a moment. Let's make sure. All right, that looks good. And here we go. Let's go ahead and hit go live. There we go. It says that we are live. Connection is excellent. So awesome. I'm going to go ahead and minimize Chrome as well. And here we are at 3:59. So I'm just a minute early, and that's okay. So for folks new to the channel, my name is Rich Charpentier. I'm the channel host, and normally on the videos that we do here on YouTube, we're usually covering some types of drone topics, growing your small drone business, imaging, and all the processing that goes behind the types of drone work that we do here. So this weekend, one of my Patreon members had asked a question which I thought was really good. We chatted about it on Sunday, but I wanted to talk to the greater YouTube audience here as well. So Warren's question was, what are you doing for management of your images and videos and everything that you've captured for your client projects, and how are you managing those things? Now, normally I've been a giant Lightroom user for well over a decade now, and normally for still images, I am processing those images in Lightroom. However, a lot of the work that we've been doing, hey Bruce, good to see you on here today. I hope everything's going well for you. So normally I'm managing most images. As you can see, this is my Lightroom setup here, and I've been using Lightroom, like I said, for over a decade. But now that we're getting into all of these construction projects and construction progression jobs, where we're out documenting vacant sites that become buildings, that become residences, or commercial properties, it's not always convenient to utilize Lightroom these days when I'm coming back to do orthomosaic models that have 300, 400, 500 images. The sphere, yes, not looking for the tiny planet though. I use Tuplod to Facebook and Google Maps. Okay, on those 360 spheres, B. Nelson, if you check out, let me see here, if you check out Affinity Photo, they do actually have a viewer built into their application. There are other applications for viewing those, but I don't believe that Lightroom supports that final viewing. So you can pull the image in and it's going to look really strange. It's not going to be a sphere, but then you have to go to a tiny planet setting on one of the other viewers out there to actually see it as the tiny planet. Alrighty. So anyways, I've been managing more and more still images that are going into our two-dimensional and three-dimensional models. We've been handling a lot of video, and also I utilize audio for these live streams and for presentations for my clients. So I'm managing video, I'm managing stills, I'm managing audio in some cases, and I'm going to be managing it more in the near future. And let me go ahead and minimize Lightroom. So in answer to Warren's question this weekend, the thing that I've been utilizing a lot more lately is called Kyno. Now, I did a video on this many, many months ago, Open Drone Map. So I have done web ODM, Michael. Unfortunately, the Mac that I'm running needs some more RAM for it. So I've done smaller models with it, done testing with it. And the models that it generated for me, the smaller models that it generated for me are fantastic. They came out very nice. If I have the opportunity to build a new modeling platform, a whole new box, I will be doing more testing with Open Drone Map because it's a great alternative for folks who are just getting into this and not wanting to spend a lot on licensing on some of the other big names. So months ago, I had done a video on Kyno and I showed a little of the features. And I know we've got a lot of new channel members here now and new folks over on the Patreon channel as well. So I wanted to revisit Kyno again because Warren's question really got to something that's going on with me in my business. And that's I'm starting to change some of my workflow. Changing the workflow because of the clients that I'm working with. So while I still utilize Lightroom for standard imaging and for doing editing and for tying into Photoshop, I needed something that could also manage video. Now you can import video to Lightroom, but you can't really do too much with it. So I found Kyno well over a year ago, 2 years ago now, and I found it when I was doing a search for Lightroom for video, and this is one of the first things that popped up. And yes, there is some pricing associated with it, and no, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. So I don't have any affiliate links. Maybe I should drop them a note and ask them about that. Let me minimize this, and we're just going to go into the Kyno interface. So we didn't jump into this over the weekend with our patrons. And by the way, on the Patreon channel, we do 3 Zoom meetings a month where we talk about different facets of building your small drone business, and also the software and hardware and all that kind of stuff that we're utilizing in our businesses. So I talk about what we're using for our applications for our clients, and we also do acknowledge that there are other ways to do it as well. So just because I'm using Kyno or Lightroom to manage things doesn't mean that it's going to be the best for you. But I do want you to see some of the options available out there. Hey, Warren, I'm glad you're on today. So, yep, this one's for you, Warren. So I just wanted to show you through this because there have been some improvements in Kyno. I am satisfied with their upgrade schedules as well, by the way. And while we see, licensing fees over $100, if you're really delving into this, you're going to be spending a little bit on your systems, on your drones, on the tablets or smartphones you're using, and on the software that you're using. So where we can find lower cost things, we'll do that. But if we're starting to manage just way too much in the way of video, audio, and still content, then we've got to have something that can really pull it all together. So what's been changing for me in my business in the recent past few months is we're starting to do a lot more of the two-dimensional modeling again. And I'm coming back with hundreds of photos that we're going to be turning into two-dimensional and three-dimensional models. And with that in mind, I'm not editing these things. They're not going into Photoshop. I'm not fine-tuning them heavily in Lightroom or anything. We're taking this data, and it's more about the data for building the model than if it's the prettiest picture in the world. And so what I'm looking at, one of the things I love with Lightroom is you don't need to utilize folder management so heavily. Kyno is going to be folder management. I'm just looking around for something, by the way. So if you think Rich is going squirrely on screen, no, I wanted to just grab something out. Basically, what we have been doing recently, since we're storing so many images, so much video, is I've been doing a lot of the small SSD drives. So this is a Samsung portable. This is a let me see, this is the T5, so I think this is a 1 terabyte. Nope, this is a 2 terabyte as well. So I've been setting up a new standalone client SSD each year, and I've been doing that with Lightroom and previous years as well. But now, mostly, these drives are getting filled up with all the stills for the models, and so they're getting managed by Kyno. So I have, let's see, right down here, we're fortunate to have a bunch of servers with lots of RAM. Yep, set up for it. Awesome. And I know about the Node ODM servers. One cluster, really nice. Looking forward to helping learn this system in our own business. Yeah, I will actually message you, Michael, because I'm interested in what you've set up. And there might be a new mapping box in my near future. And I've got a meeting about that tomorrow, so that's a good thing. So what we're looking at over on the left-hand side, one of the things, I can't adjust the font size on Kyno. I'd love to be able to adjust the font size just a little bit. I'm on a huge screen here, and everything's kind of small fonts for me. And let's face it, I'm getting a little older now. I have a drive on here right now called BenQ 2021. That's for the projects we're doing this year. And it has some subfolders. One of the big subfolders is one called Chapter V's. He's one of my clients that we're working with on a lot of projects. And we've done our house 4 flights, 429 pics. Oh, awesome. I really, you can drop a message afterward, Michael. If you pop over to azdrone.net, I've got a contact form there, and you're welcome to drop me a note. Remind me that we were talking on here, and we can have a conversation, because I'd be real curious to know what you've got set up for that. So, all right. Under Chad's work, he's a realtor that we're working with here in the Prescott area that we started working with in the spring, and he deals with a lot of construction builds as well. So he reached out to us this spring and wanted to start doing some modeling and some of the other types of flight applications that we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of construction progression reporting. If you're new to the channel, all you have to do is look through some of the recent videos here, and you're going to find out what construction progress monitoring is and some of the things that we do to deliver to our clients. So I'd say take a look at some of our older content. And also, we do have regular conversations about this over on the Patreon channel, and we have a Discord server for our patrons as well, so you can ask questions there as well. And right now, I've got Kyno pulled up in one of the project folders that we're working on. It's 16005 North Double Adobe Road. And it doesn't look like much is happening in here, but right now, what we're looking at are all of the videos that are under this folder. And this folder actually happens to have a bunch of subfolders because we've done multiple flights. So when I've got the main folder highlighted here, up on the top bar, I hope that you can follow along with where my mouse is. I've increased the mouse size just a little bit. Right now I have video selected here. I'm going to go ahead and unclick video, and now we're going to see a lot more. Actually, I'm looking down to the bottom of my screen because Kyno, like Lightroom, tells me how many items I have in a particular collection. So this one's saying that we have 161 items in this overall North Double Adobe Road project. I have some still images, I have some videos. I don't have any audio saved in this at the moment. But when I go hit video again, we're reducing this down to now we only have 34 items to work with. So right away off the bat, Kyno will let you see everything inside your folder, if it's video, if it's audio, or if it's stills. And so right now I just wanted to look at the video. Now, one of the things that Warren had asked about was, do I change labels on these things? Do I change file names when I import things? And one of the features that I really like about Kyno, I don't have to do name changes. I can treat this something like Lightroom. One of my favorite features in Lightroom has to be keywords. It has helped me manage tens of thousands of photos over the years. And when I import things and utilize the keywords, it makes life a lot easier to find stuff in giant catalogs. Same can be said here. And so when we look at one of these images, let's go down to the center. So I'm just circling around here. I have this image video DJI0018.mp4. You'll notice that I've got a little shopping tag up here too. This is a tag. So you can actually add tags in bulk, or you can add tags in individually. I'm going to double click on this video so we could actually view this video right now, and we can actually do some work on the video as well. We're not going to dive that deep into exporting things from Kyno, but I think I am going to make a larger Kyno series for people who are interested in utilizing it for their drone videos and also for their still management. So please let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in a longer series on this. I think it's time to do one. So one of the things, I've opened this image up over on the right hand side. We've got metadata, content, subclips, and tracks. We can make subclips too. But the metadata is what I'm interested in, because in the metadata, I've done two different labels. So once again, we're in the Chad DeVries file and we're in a particular project, and I can assign additional labels. So if I only want to find things in his folder that are orbits or time-lapse orbits, I can do that. So I can do quick searches very, very easily. I'm going to go back out. I'm just using a shortcut key to go back out to the grid view here. And let's take a look. Where was that one? So this guy was right here. What I want you to see, so we've drilled down and we're only looking at videos, but I want you to check out over on the right-hand side. We have filter options, so we can filter on a lot of stuff. Let's take a look at what our filter options are. So we could filter our videos on size. If they're under 2 gigabytes, I only want to see those. If they're over 2 gigabytes, I only want to see those. We can filter on date. We can filter on the folders that we've built. We can filter on our ratings. So let me go back and show you that one video again. So I could pop ratings in here. I could pop descriptions in here. Real, scene, shot. So we can put a lot of additional information together here. Now, when we're looking at the individual view, of course, we're not filtering right now. We have to return to either the list view or the grid view. My preference is the grid view. So let's go back up to that filter again. And one of the filters that we are offered is tag. So if we've filled things in, we get back from the job site, we offload everything into our new project folder. Maybe we even subdivide things. So we've got ortho images as one subfolder, videos as another subfolder, maybe some B-roll or some B stills as well. But so we can actually sort on tag, and then if we've imported all these things, we can go through and tag things. You can tag things in bulk, or you can tag things individually. So if I wanted to, I could select this first row of everything here. If I right click, you'll see that there is an option for tags. So I can go into tags, and I've got a couple of tags on these already, but let's call this live stream, stream demo. So that can be a tag. Live stream demo can be a tag. I'm going to hit return on that. And now what I'm going to do is I am just going to pick one of these, save the changes. I'm just going to pick another one. But in here, I had B-roll, and now I have live stream demo as well. That's really cool. Let's go over to filter. Let's filter on tag. And I want the tag to be live stream demo. All right, so notice all of the other video clips in here disappeared. Sorry, I'm just looking down to make sure I'm not missing any chat questions. But so all of the other ones disappeared. We just hid several of our clips, our video clips, and we're only looking at live stream demo. Now, in this, I could drill this down even further. They will let me add another tag. So I could search on two tags. I want live stream demo and I want only orbits. Now we're down to 3. Very quickly, I have found the clips that I wanted to find for editing my video project. Maybe we're doing a construction progression video and I just need to drill down and get those ready for setup for Final Cut Pro. When I'm done with the tags, really simple. I go up, I hit the little minus key. I hit this little minus key. Look, everybody popped back up. So not only do I have the raw videos from the sites, I also keep the final web ready versions of the videos for my clients in the same folder set. So if I were to do another quick filter, and let's go down to tag again, and I have a tag called web ready. So each of these have gotten to a point where I'm ready to ship them along to a client, or maybe I'm doing some fine tuning and I'll need to move a couple out afterward. So the ability to find your images or video like that is what drew me to Kyno. Its functionality, while similar to Lightroom, is still lacking a baseline interior editor, an editor that's actually built into Kyno. I don't see that forthcoming at any point in time because they're building this as a video management platform. I think they're really cool to also include stills as well. I'm going to unclick the video button for a moment here. I'm going to go over to images. I purposefully didn't tag things in here for you, but these are some of the still images from that particular job site. I have some of these loaded into Lightroom as well for editing, for editing purposes, but just like what we showed you in the video here, we can do the same with the stills. We can go through and tag these things and give descriptors for them, and then when we're ready to start editing and working on our projects, we can drill down very quickly to maybe we've given star rankings to these. So maybe this is a 5-star and I really love this photo. I don't. This hasn't even been edited. It's still a raw file. But I can go in here and do ratings. I can do descriptions. I can do titles. I can also add tags to blocks of images. By the way, I do want you to look down at the bottom. I should have talked about this earlier, and I'm sorry. I got excited and I got right into this. So down at the bottom here, we do have information about the images. We already have some of our EXIF data here. So we've got a DJI, DJI0035.dng. We've got our file size. We have when it was last modified, when it was captured and created. File format is a digital negative. They've got our resolution right there. What the camera is and what the aperture and shutter speed were. So we've already got some good information in here as well, and we could do more with that. Now, here's, when we were talking about this on this weekend's Patreon, so Warren, this one's for you as well. One of the things that I felt, was a failing, and it's not really a failing, it was a wish list item, was that I could actually do some minor editing in here. However, we can do editing as well. So let's take that 5-star photo. By the way, check that one out up in the corner here. It's 5 stars now. So, I could actually give it back to no stars there. And I want to go back to the grid view once more. You know what? I don't want to have that little, there we go. Let's just turn that off. Okay. So back at the grid view, I want to show you two things. We're going to do it from the grid view and we're going to do it from the individual image view. If I right click in here, I have, let's see, open with. So while we can't do editing in Kyno, we can export our image out to Photoshop or Affinity Photo or Lightroom or Aurora. And so here's all the applications I have. So I do use Adobe Lightroom, Affinity Photo, Aurora HDR, Lightroom Classic, Photomatix Pro. You can also use Preview or QuickTime Viewer. So while I can't edit inside of Kyno, I can do my management in Kyno. I can do all my tagging, I can do my ratings, I can flag those images that I want to use later. I can put more descriptors. I can put, custom titles if I want to. Maybe you want custom titles for images for your clients. I can do all of that in Kyno. And then I can go ahead and send it out to, we're going to send it out to Affinity Photo. So now we're just waiting for, there it is. Affinity Photo just popped up and blocked half my screens here. I should have had that better and ready. So now in Affinity Photo, I can start into my edits on this, and this is treating it as a DNG. So the first thing that I'm going to go through here is actually use that raw editor, which should probably look familiar to Lightroom and Photoshop users because they also have their camera raw editors as well. So popping this into Affinity Photo, we can go through all of this, and then from here, after we've done our raw editing, we can move along to other basic edits or maybe some cleanups in the images, whatever we want to do. Now, here's the deal. When we're utilizing Lightroom and we're doing edits in Lightroom, those edits are preserved in Lightroom. When we export to Photoshop or Affinity or Aurora, whatever we're exporting from, usually Lightroom will say to you, hey, do you want to make a copy of this? Do you want to make a virtual duplicate of this? That way we're doing non-destructive editing. And when we're done with our editing in Photoshop or Affinity or whatever else and we save it, it gets pulled back into Lightroom. That is not the case here. So once we're done with the edits in here and we go to do a save, we're going to need to remember what folder our stuff was built in Kyno. So I'm going to minimize this for a moment so I know that looking over on the left-hand side, 16005 North Adobe Full Project. And then in that one, we had these particular subcategories. So I'm going to be saving it back to its original folder. So that's my one complaint with it. It's not a realistic complaint. This is doing a great job, and there are other photo management platforms out there that use a folder system like what we're looking at here and have similar features. So all in all, I think that Kyno has done a really great job with that. I'm going to go ahead and quit that. We're not even going to save this one back. Okay, please complete or cancel. I actually do want to cancel the raw development, so I'm just going to hit cancel on that. So we could have done the raw developer, finished it, and then saved it. We'd manually save it back into the folder that we're using here. But so we do have options with our images. So we have that open with. We can also move to trash, rename, copy it. So I could make a second copy of this before I send it over to Affinity, kind of making something like those virtual images that we get from Lightroom. We can also send it over to Final Cut Pro. So that is one of the nice features with Kyno is if you're using Final Cut or Premiere or DaVinci, you can send to your video platform that you choose. You can do batch image transforms as well. This is a very high level one here today, just to give you some ideas on how you can use this. So before we head out of this or anything, I'm going to close out of the image, just toggling images off. So now we see everything. And I do want to go back to video. So if you start doing video presentations for clients, whether they're time-lapse or other types of presentations, I want you to understand a couple other things about Kyno, because this is a huge time saver when you're doing video edits or when you're setting up some of your scenes. So we do have some editing capability and different exporting capacities allowed to us via Kyno. So one of the things, we can send it on over to Final Cut or Premiere or DaVinci. But we can also scrub through our videos. So this is junk video, by the way. This was one of our early flights for the Double Adobe property. And so I was actually feeling my way around. I was flying the drone before we were getting ready to do anything major. But you know, once I got myself settled, let's spin around to here and let's say I wanted to capture this scene right here. I don't want to, but one of the really nice things, oftentimes when I'm talking to people about their video editing, they're not prepping things. They're dragging their full clips into Final Cut or Premiere or DaVinci. They're dragging the whole clip, even though they only want 20 seconds of it and the clip's 3 minutes long. And when you start dragging those things into Final Cut or the other editors, you're going to start transcoding. You're gonna bog yourself down a bit. There's the quick version. But what we can do in Kyno over here on the left-hand side, so I'm just spinning my mouse around here, I can make a starting point. And let's say, you know, so they're pouring concrete over there on the left. And by the way, this is not a video clip that we've given to the clients. This was me getting everything ready that morning. Let's say we just wanted to make a clip from here to here. I'm just going to go over to the other clip side. So now I have this blue bar in here. This is my clip length. I can actually export my clip back into my folder here. So let me see here. Are we in here or over here? Nope, we are. So we can do an edit and convert. So we can actually export things web ready. We can export things. So normally I'm doing H.264 at 1080. We're not doing a lot of 4K around here. But so one of the nice things is that we can actually send out for editing. We can export clips only. And so we could just pick this section right here and then take those smaller clips and put the smaller clips into Final Cut or some of the other ones. Tip for the 360 ODM, also processes those as well inside the virtual tour type models from cell phones and cams. Haven't tried those options yet, but yeah, I will double check that on WebODM. You know, from the last time I tested it, it's been quite a while, and I have heard that they've gotten some additional features, so this is a good one. So other folks on channel right now, if you haven't checked out WebODM, it is worthwhile. If you have more RAM and a higher end system, you're going to be doing better off than what I was doing on a 2017 iMac and a very old gaming platform. So, like I said, we're going to be looking to build out a new mapping and modeling station in the near future. And we'll actually see what some of my business associates say about that tomorrow. So that's been a topic of discussion for a while. But so let's go down to the cog here, and because I got to jog my own memory. So you can actually open with from in here too. So if you want a QuickTime Player or something else, you can actually open your clips. But one of the things that I really like is export subclips. So I made that little blue bar subclip right in there. And so I can export just that section. It's going to save it back into this folder for me, and I can also label it and title it a little more if I wanted to. So if I wanted to export a subclip, I can go up to export it as H.264. And the directory that it's offering me right now is the same as the source directory. It will actually give it a new name. So custom, right now it's got a custom name and original. And so then I could give it a, let's call it live stream demo, is going to be the custom name. So it will come out as livestream demo.dji0056. And we could also change our settings down here for conversions. We're not doing that deep of a dive today, but I'm going to go ahead and hit start on this. And over in the left-hand corner, it's actually doing my job for me right now, and it's already completed that job. And we have a new clip right here, and that clip's name is live stream demo dash DJI, etc., etc. So you could actually, before you start putting anything into Final Cut or into DaVinci or into Premiere Pro, you could actually get all of your clips prepped and ready. You can also get the formatting of your clips so you can convert those clips. And so for editing, we've got ProRes 422, ProRes 422 high quality. So depending on your own video projects, you can get a lot more prepped and ready to go in Kyno. And let me look over here. I have some high-end server systems for sale. I will definitely talk to you about that as well, Michael. As we were talking about building a new one recently. And the big thing is I have not had to do a lot of 3D modeling recently, so the systems that we have been able to handle our workload for the 2D models, but I sure would like to actually get that processing done faster. I'm sure I've lost a lot of hours in just waiting on processing to complete. So there we go. So all right, everyone, this is a big overview of Kyno and the media management that it allows us. So we can do some basic converting and exporting for our videos. We can track and manage our stills. We can actually flag things to make them easier on us for finding more and more. And we can actually pull subfolders together. And in those subfolders, we can actually manage things even better. So I'm just looking back over onto my Longmeadow project because this was something else that I wanted to share here. So let's see, am I in the correct Longmeadow project? I actually am, but I'm not finding what I had set up for you. Do I have a filter turned on? And let's see. Oh, well, Longmeadow is not the one I was looking for. I'm getting some names confused here. There we go. Not Northridge. It was that High Lonesome. There we go. Okay. So one of the other projects that we're working on right now is High Lonesome Way. And so I'd actually gotten some of this prepped for you as well this morning. And at the moment, we're looking at some still images. Down at the bottom, it's telling me that I have 307 images in total in this particular folder right now. Or I'm sorry, 307 items, not images. What we're looking at first here is one of our flights for a new construction location for a really nice home in northern Arizona. And so these have all been flagged with ortho mosaic images. So that way I know for my own informational needs that these are all part of an ortho that I'm doing. And I'm going to go ahead and click back over in here. So I did tag these. And number one, let's just go find our video clips only and not our images. Now we're down to 15 items that we're displaying. So here are the videos for the flights that we've done for this, the progression videos so far. And as I said, here are our images that we're going to be using for combining in Metashape in my case. So that's what I use for our 2D and 3D modeling. But we have all of our JPEGs and we've got them all tagged as orthomosaic so I can find those quickly. Because remember, let's, whoops, sorry about that. Remember, under images, I can also put other images from these subfolders as well. And I do have some other ones, just some random flights, and also a quick shot for a friend of one of the folks that we were working for. They just wanted to get a feel for the area. Go figure, this was a super hazy, smoke-socked-in day the other month when we were getting a lot of the wildfire smoke from the West Coast. So we have a lot of those days where there's a lot of haze in our images and in our videos. So, Warren, I hope that this one helps. I'm just scrolling back up to make sure. I hope this helps you get an idea of some of my workflow management and what we're doing for these larger projects and how we're managing the images and video. I think I'm going to start dragging some of my audio files in because I do utilize some audio from soundstripe.com. Also not a sponsor of the channel, but that's who I'm using for our licenses for the audio that we're using here. So there we go. Let me know in the comments, everybody, if you're watching this at a later date and time, if you'd be interested in a deeper dive with Kyno, where we go into how we can do some of our work on the video clips, creating the subclips, prepping something for one of our time-lapse projects. I'd be happy to go in more depth with that. Also, we can talk about the image management, how we launch from an image saved in here over into Affinity Photo or Photoshop or whatever photo editor it is that you're utilizing, and then how we get those images back in a nice clean fashion so that we're still managing things nicely and not losing track of things. When you're literally coming back from a job site with 300 to 400 images and maybe 8 or 9 minutes of video and maybe also some captures for some 360s, it can get unwieldy really fast. So, down the road, you are going to want a management platform that helps you out with that. So it did. All right. Good deal, Warren. I need to say something to everybody who's here right now. I know my videos go on long. There's a free trial of Kyno. There's a free trial of Affinity. There's free trials for everything. So don't run out and grab all the free trials today. Grab the free trials that you know that you'll spend some time with, 14 to 30 days, depending on, who the vendor is that you're dealing with. You're going to get some demo time. So use that time wisely. Go out there, get some shots done. Go out there, get some modeling done. Go out there, get some video done. And then utilize the free trial for Kyno or Affinity or Lightroom, whatever it is. Don't waste those free trial experiences. So get yourself ready for it. Like when you're getting ready to try out Kyno, have a bunch of stills, have some videos at the ready, and really spend some time with it. Go through the features and try these things out. I'm not a Kyno expert. I'm not a Kula expert. I'm not a Final Cut expert. All of these things are part of the work that I do, but I'm still learning every day with the utilities that I'm utilizing. So when you have those opportunities to be able to utilize something for free for a little while, take advantage of those opportunities. Poke around in here. Go up to the top bar. What's playback? Go up to the top bar. What's metadata? What does that mean? What am I going to convert? What am I viewing? Oh, a grid, a list detail. Also gives us shortcut keys, by the way. So that little command 1 gets us to the grid. Command 2 gets us to list. Command 3 gets us to add as detailed. So we do have a lot of different menus. I don't know these right off the top of my head, so I go exploring. I poke around in here. I try things out. I try to break things. I want to make sure that the products that I'm utilizing are going to help save me time and help me deliver better quality products to my clients. So there we go. So I've been wanting to say that. I got to keep saying that in every video. Do the demos, really use them. Make sure that you've got stuff to throw into those demos before you try them out, and take advantage of the timeline that these manufacturers give you. All right, everybody, as usual, I'm so happy that you stopped in and hung out for a while today. I hope this one was informative. I hope to get some additional feedback in here. I have some okay, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anybody else. But please go down, like and subscribe below, comment below. Share this channel with your friends who are also doing their own small business, or maybe medium or large. Maybe you found something really useful in here. Pass it along to those friends. We're happy to grow the channel. And we'd be happy also if you found this content useful and informative. Go check out our Patreon channel. And if you'd like to, you can become a patron today. Once again, on the Patreon channel, 3 times a month, we do private Zoom meetings. We also do one-on-one calls with some of the patrons when they have some questions or they need a hand with something. So we're still small enough where we can do that kind of stuff. And if you check with our folks on the Discord server or some of the folks here on the YouTube channel who are Patreon members, they'll tell you we do dive into a lot of things together. All right, everybody, once again, have a great rest of the week. For patrons, I'll see you guys on this Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll have another fun topic for this coming weekend. All right, everybody, we'll see you again real soon. Have a good one. And now I have to go find my stream. There we go. We'll see you later. All right, let's end that stream. And let's go ahead, OBS.